Here's the shocking truth about American churches, a truth most church members don't talk about. They see the shrinking attendance. They see the aging pews. But they quietly hope the decline will just disappear. It won't, because right now thousands of churches are closing every single year. In 2024 alone, nearly 4,000 churches shut their doors across the United States. Oh, the decline isn't just inside the church buildings. It's happening across the entire country. In 2007, 78% of Americans identified as Christian. Today, that number is about 62%. That's a 16-point drop in less than 2 decades, the fastest religious shift in modern U.S. history. Another trend is reshaping the church. America is aging. And older populations mean fewer young families, fewer children, and fewer people entering church life. According to Pew Research, rural and small-town communities skew older than suburban and urban areas, and churches in those communities reflect the same pattern. When the population ages, congregations age with it. For here's something most people never consider. Many communities in my area across the South and Southeast are stable or even growing. New houses, new families, new development. But church attendance isn't following the trend. In fact, even in growing counties, churches are shrinking. This means the decline isn't just about population loss, it's about participation loss. Even in towns that are growing, the people walking into church on Sunday are getting older. Pew Research shows that older adults attend church at much higher rates than younger adults. Younger generations, millennials and Gen Z, participate at dramatically lower levels. So even when a community grows, the church may not grow with it because the new families aren't coming. For at the same time, the number of Americans with no religious affiliation, the nones, continues to rise. In 2007, only 16% of Americans identified as religiously unaffiliated. Today, that number is around 28%. This shift affects every region, even places where the population is growing. More people, but fewer churchgoers. For decades, the church relied on a simple assumption. Families would naturally drift toward church because their parents and grandparents did. That assumption held for generations. But that world is gone. Today's families don't automatically gravitate toward church. Many weren't raised in church. Many don't feel connected to church. And the old model simply doesn't reach people who never had an interest in church to begin with. For younger generations aren't hostile to church. They're distracted from it. They're busy. They're prosperous enough. And they're drowning in options. Sports leagues, mini vacations, hobbies, side hustles, streaming, gaming, social media. Their weekends are full before church ever enters the picture. It's not that they rejected God. It's that they never felt like they needed Him. For many Americans, life is comfortable enough that faith feels optional. They have jobs, hobbies, entertainment, and endless digital stimulation. Gallup reports that church membership has fallen from 70% in 1999 to 50% today, not because people are suffering, but because they feel like they're doing fine without God. Prosperity didn't make people angry at church. It made them indifferent. For the church model we inherited was built for a different world, a world where faith was assumed, attendance was expected, and the culture pushed people toward church, not away from it. But today's world is louder, busier, more distracted, more prosperous, and far less connected to Scripture. The old model wasn't designed for a generation that doesn't feel lost because they don't feel anything at all. For decades, churches try to keep people engaged with programs, youth nights, events, activities, ministries for every age group. But today's families already have full calendars. Shopping, weekend tournaments, hobbies, streaming, social media, side hustles. The church can't outprogram a culture that runs 7 days a week. People don't need more activities. They need meaning. For here's the deeper issue. We built churches that could run without disciples, and now we're shocked that they're dying without disciples. For years, attendance replaced formation. Programs replaced relationships. And entertainment replaced Scripture. But when culture shifted, attendance wasn't enough. Only discipleship can survive disruption. For most of American history, the church didn't have to fight for attention. It was the center of community life. It was the default gathering place. It was where families went because that's just what families did. But as America grew more prosperous, something else grew with it, the entertainment industry. More screens, more options, more ways to spend time, money, and attention. And we took the bait. Hook, line, and sinker. For years, churches try to keep people engaged by adding more programs, more events, more activities, more production. But the culture outpaced the church. Entertainment is everywhere, in your pocket, on your TV, in your earbuds, on every screen. The church can't win an entertainment arms race, and it was never supposed to. People don't need a flashier show. They need a deeper life. For we live in the most entertained generation in history, and the most spiritually hollow. People have comfort, convenience, and constant stimulation, but very little meaning, very little grounding, very little identity. And when life feels full on the surface, faith feels optional underneath. This is the crisis beneath the crisis, a generation with everything except depth. For here's the surprising truth. Even as church attendance declines, spiritual hunger is rising. People are searching for meaning, searching for identity, searching for something real, something deeper than entertainment, politics, or self-help. They're not rejecting God. They're starving for depth, and they don't know where to find it. For across the country, something unexpected is happening. As the crowd thins, the remnant is rising. People who want the whole Bible. People who want real discipleship. People who want depth, conviction, and truth, not entertainment. The future of the American church won't be built on crowds. It will be built on a remnant that actually walks with God. For the future of the church won't look like the past. It won't be built on programs, productions, or personalities. It will be built on people who are rooted, people who know Scripture, people who live it, people who walk with God when no one is watching. The American church may get smaller, but it can also get stronger, and the future belongs to the ones who choose depth over distraction.